So with the retirement of Miss Schmidt coming up, I know she's super excited that she's spent a long time here at school. I think 30 years here at Northwestern as a teacher, and then 11 of those years have been working with the ag department and doing the ag foods and that kind of good stuff. She started here as a kindergartner in Northwestern, and she's come all the way through. And so when you take a product of our school district, you really are able to look at her and see how good of a person and so forth that our school district has put out with Miss Julie Schmidt. I see her in the roles all over our community, whether it's the fair, whether it's with a food concession trailer, whether it's doing FFA stuff, whether it's doing school stuff. And over the years, she's done everything from proms to graduations and all that kind of good stuff. And we do have about 2 people that's going to come up and maybe talk a little bit about their experiences with Miss Julie Schmidt. The first one I'm going to have come up is Zaylee Wade in the back here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Honeycutt. Good evening, everyone. I know some of you may not really be familiar with who I am, but that is okay. You'll get to know me a little bit this evening. And if there's one thing that I like when I'm introducing myself to new people, it's that I love to be in the kitchen, which I guess it's no surprise that Mrs. Schmidt's food classes were some of my favorites when I was in high school. But if there is anything that you should know about me, is I am obsessed with one certain seasoning, and I brought that seasoning with me. It is my good old reliable rotisserie chicken seasoning, and you may be wondering what is so special about this seasoning. It is that I use it in absolutely everything, and I am obsessed. And I brought this with me today because the person I have to thank for this specific seasoning is Mrs. Schmidt, because she always had this in her spice cupboard in her classroom, and I loved it. And because I loved it so much, she went out of her way to get me 2 of these giant bottles just so I would always have it with me after I graduated in 2022. So thank you, and I'm almost out of this, so I'm gonna need that. But this is not the only reason I brought this bottle with me here today, because I spent a lot of hours sitting at Mrs. Schmidt's desk, and she taught me how to write speeches and also how to public speak. And one of the lessons she always taught me was when you are giving a speech, you have to do something at the beginning to catch the audience's attention. So here I am trying to make you proud. Now, of all the speeches that she helped me write, whether it was for FFA speeches, Fair Queen speeches, graduation speech, some of the most important lessons came from these. From public speaking and how to write a speech, these have opened so many opportunities to me that have impacted my life the greatest. And I have to owe those opportunities to Mrs. Schmidt for taking the time and wanting to probably pull out your hair sometimes, trying to teach me these things. Now, as we were writing speeches, there's another lesson that she taught me that I value most of all, and that is how to accept constructive criticism. Because I would be so excited, I would write a speech, and I would think it's so good, and I'd bring it to her, and she would go to proofread it, and she would pick up her pen and would just go critique after critique after critique. And if there's anything you know about Mrs. Schmidt, is she's kind of blunt. So you kind of had to have a tough skin if you wanted to learn things from Mrs. Schmidt sometimes. But the thing that I learned about criticism is not only is it hard to sometimes take, but you, in order to be able to take it, is you have to practice swallowing your pride and humbling yourself, because that is how you learn to grow. And this is a lesson that I continue to use every single day. When I'm at work every day, I still use this. And it's hard sometimes, but I still practice swallowing my pride and oftentimes making myself look stupid, all for the sake of being willing to ask questions and ask to understand other people's perspectives. Because again, that is how you grow. And understanding people's perspectives and getting criticism, again, it's hard. But that has been one of the most valuable lessons that I think has probably helped me the most after graduation in so many different ways. Now, one thing about being in the kitchen is that there's something I've learned, a good lesson, and it's that if you over-season food, it is practically inedible and it just absolutely tastes horrible. So it's always better to under-season things, because you can always add seasoning later. And something that I've learned in life is that words are like spices. Too much is far worse than too little. Now, as I was traveling the state as an FFA officer, I often found myself having conversations with so many people that said, I didn't know that Albion had 2 FFA teachers. I thought it was only Honeycutt there. And I would just smile, because the ag teacher that not many people got to know was the one that I got to learn from the most. You see, Mrs. Schmidt isn't necessarily very flashy, and she's not always the center of attention, and I think she likes it that way. And when she's not giving you a smart aleck comment when you deserve it, then she really kind of bites her tongue and doesn't say a whole lot. But when she does speak, I always knew that it was going to be very important and very valuable. And I think that was a lesson that I silently learned, and something that I always took with me. Because I remember this time when I first started as a state FFA officer, my teammates one day looked at me and said, Zaylee, I wish that you would talk more. Everything you have to say is so intentional and so valuable. I just shook my head. I said, you don't understand. The reason you find value in my words is because I only speak when it's important. And I think that's a lesson I learned is spending time in Mrs. Schmidt's classroom. Now, if there is one lesson and memory that I have, it is actually sitting in Mrs. Schmidt's classroom and designing this FFA banquet program, which, by the way, I saw this and it gave me like PTSD flashbacks, because I sat at her desk for hours and hours and hours wanting to pull my hair out designing this thing, and Mrs. Schmidt sat with me and taught me how to design a program. And although that kind of seems like a useless skill, I am in absolute awe of how that skill has prepared me for so many opportunities I didn't know were coming. Because when I served as a state officer, ironically enough, I was the person that designed every single conference and convention program. And not only did I design every program, I designed every graphic, every design, every logo, every workbook, and even now in work, I have to design all the different documents and plenty of other things. And although this doesn't seem important, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that if I didn't sit there for hours with Mrs. Schmidt as she taught me how to design a program. Which, by the way, when I'm working on something, I always print it out to proofread it, because you can always proofread better when it's printed on paper and not on a computer. Now, this wouldn't be a personal thank you speech to Mrs. Schmidt if I didn't mention my favorite class, which was Mrs. Schmidt's foods class called Chopped. So Chopped is a class that is designed and inspired by the TV show Chopped, and I lived for this class. Every week, I was always waiting for what ingredients she was going to give us or what topic she was going to give us that week so we could prepare and then come Friday, hopefully win the competition. And I've had my few shares of wins throughout the class, what can I say? I think it's because I've mastered the mindset of creativity and thinking outside of the box. Because when Mrs. Schmidt tells you to make pizzas that week, you don't just make a regular savory pizza. You make a dessert coconut cream pie pizza. And when she gives you mandarin oranges and cream cheese, while everybody else would obviously make a cream cheese orange creamsicle type of dessert, I go ahead and I make pork tacos with cream cheese sauce and mandarin orange salsa. Now, both of those things sound kind of crazy, but they were actually delicious. And I learned that danger is the spice of life. You got to take risks every now and then because that is what makes life worthwhile. In the kitchen, I learned that creativity and taking risks is what makes you succeed. And in life, I learned the same thing, that you have to step out of your comfort zone and try new things in order to stand out and to have success. Now, as I have been looking at my rotisserie chicken seasoning here, it made me think of a phrase that you might be familiar with, and it's to be the salt of the earth. Now, in the ancient days, salt was very, very valuable, and it was used to preserve food, to prevent decay, and also it is to enhance flavor. We are all called to be the salt of the earth, to preserve the goodness of this world, and to prevent the decay and corruption of our society and to enhance the lives of those around us. FFA members, we should be familiar with our FFA motto, which is learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve. This single motto represents what students should be learning as good character, good skills, good morals and values as they come into our ag classrooms. And some of those characters, skills, morals, and values that I've learned I've already mentioned, whether it's learning how to write speeches, how to public speak, how to be humble, how to take risks, how to be creative. These skills have allowed me to be the salt of the earth wherever I've gone, to enhance the lives of others, to preserve the goodness in this world, and to prevent the decay in a broken society. And I gotta say that Mrs. Schmidt, and all that time that I spent in her classroom, I think she played a major role in that, in teaching me and every student that passes through. I wasn't expecting to cry, I don't like this. Over the years, she has taught every student that has passed through her classroom how to be the salt of the earth. And Mrs. Schmidt, wherever you go, and no matter who you're with, I know you will also continue to be the salt of the earth. To everyone you meet, why am I crying? But everyone, I hope that you wish her well, because she's always going to continue to be involved in the community and in the lives of everyone. And she will always enhance everybody's life that she's in. So thank you for everything that you've done, not only for me, but everybody that's sitting at these tables and everyone before us. So I wish you luck, and thank you all for listening to me ramble.
So the next person that I talked to about speaking and so forth, man, was she excited. She says, yes, I love that. And so if you know her, her name is Brenda Schmidt, And she definitely, you talk about peas in a pod with Haley and Ivy back there. These two are peas in a pod too. And so she's going to talk a little bit about her friend. And yeah, so here we go with Brenda.
Well, thank you, Mr. Honeycutt. Thanks so much. I need 2 helpers. That's you. And and this bag's heavy, so you get to hold it. No, just kidding. No. Thank you. And that's my Bigfoot bag, which I got on an adventure when Julie and I were on a Bigfoot hunt. Not true. We just went to the convention. She wore a lovely costume. You're welcome. I spend a lot of time sitting in her kitchen. I'm that friend who does not cook, but who will eat your food and watch you do the dishes. Pretty cool with that. Now, I have been involved with the FFA. Hey, I was an FFA when I was a kid. It was very cool, but Julie brought me back in, and so I have a lot of miles with these guys, mostly because I ride shotgun. And as soon as she told me she was retiring, I thought, oh my word. So y'all, I have this. Could you pass that down to your friends on that side? And I'll put one here for you. Here you go. I have for you the Schmidt hotline. Yeah, I just keep this in your wallet. It's good for 1 free phone call. But you have to know a couple of things. Please note, and it says this, because the fine print's important, it says that she's usually in her truck, which means if you call, it's going through the speaker and it's going to be heard by all the passengers. Now, if I'm the passenger, it's fine, because I won't remember it. But it's not always me. Text. If you send her a text, it will be read by whomever is riding shotgun. So if 1 year I got to drive, they didn't ask if I could drive, they asked if I was available. Please remember that. I only hit like 6 curves, it's fine. And no one died. The gals in my van were having some struggles, and so I sent a text out to Julie to let her know we were going to disembark from the caravan group there. And I let them know we were stopping for a group poop. And the girls were mortified because they knew that she was going to let the person ride a shotgun and read that. And I'm like, everyone poops, you're fine. So, and if you rode with me, then you know that you're going to have music. It's especially good that you have stuff that your driver likes. The rest of you, we listen to yours until we're tired. And then we have the Toasterettes kick in as our background. So here is the music. So pass that on to future generations, and that's what we like. Now you can customize it for anybody you want, but that's fine. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed my speech notes are on Post-it notes, so I have something for y'all. You always talk about how organized she is. What's going on here?
Oh, it's a little shaggy.
Easy there, Chief. So what I have for you is some spare Post-it notes of sizes, colors that you might want to help you stay organized in the manner of Mrs. Schmidt. I also have these folder tabs and labels, and these little circles of stuff. And I stole these from Julie's house. She didn't know. She didn't even know they were missing, so apparently there's a few. Now, the next item of goodies in here is, if you've been with Schmidt long enough, you know that most things get a commemorative t-shirt. And this was from the time that we, just last summer, one of the kids back there, so, the bride and groom are here. We got married, and so since we had such vast experience driving children around, we decided to take the bachelor party around. So we have the Schmidt family road trip. And it's important that you put something fun on your clothes. And so I have a little beaver. There's a long story that goes with it, but that's what we do. And if you've seen some of the FFA clothes, you might see a raccoon, and someone else can tell you about that. That back in the bag. So be prepared. You should always make custom t-shirts so that you have good stories to tell with your friends. Now, also, thank you. And thank you. Where are they? There's one. Where'd the other one go? Adam, look taller. There you are, thanks. Okay, so when she said she was retiring, I thought, oh no, who's cooking the food? And so it hit me that there's two fellas here, and they're probably all right. So could you take that one over to that short fellow there? And could you run this over to that one over there?
Oh, yeah.
Charlie? So, yeah. Oh, look, the bag's empty. So, as we move on in life, I'm very excited because I know where Joel lives, obviously. But I also know what she's planning to do next, and I'm so excited because I'm going to get to be able to ride shotgun along with her. Now, I should say, I just feel qualified she's going to get the job. She's applied to be the driver of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. We expect that call anytime, maybe tonight even. So, Joel, congratulations and good luck with that one. Thanks, everyone.
trips, I tell you what, how can you follow that? Oh my gosh. And so when we go on trips and do things and we've got these two together, it is like comic relief the whole time. It's so fun. It's so fun. I'm really, really going to miss all of our fun trips and that kind of good stuff that we get to do together.
But just so you know, we're still willing to go.
Oh yeah. Julie told me, she said, hey, I'm still game for going. So
I'm an expert go-kart driver, just ask that guy.
Yeah. So that's awesome. And one of the things, I mean, like I said, she's been so valuable to our group, to our organization, that kind of stuff. And you talk about the knowledge base this woman has is tremendous. Like, if something happens and I'm like, who is this person? And she can tell me who their mama is, their grandmama. Oh yeah, they got these two kids here and they're going to college over here now. She knows everything. And man, I'm not going to have that anymore at school. And that's going to be kind of rough on me. So I may be calling being like, hey, remember, you know. You get one. I get one, yeah. I can make copies of the card though, right?
There's one in your cookbook.
Oh, okay. So anyway, it has been an honor to be a teacher with her, and we have here for her a retiring officer plaque. It says retiring advisor Julie Schmidt. So if she'd like to come up here.
Thank you. It's been an interesting, long career. Just you people have wonderful kids up here, and I know you're well aware of it. But just know they are never going to work undercover. Okay, they are not stealthy. All right.
Okay.
They have tried, and once in a while here they've got me in a couple things. But I find things out, and they just have a fit. So they do a wonderful job though, and I do appreciate all of them and have had a great time. I've been here a long time. Mr. Honeycutt mentioned it, and last night when we were here setting up, one of the students here proceeded to tell about a birthday party last month and how his father had this purple velour suit with a fedora that he wore, and I'm thinking, apparently we weren't worthy of it tonight, Mike. But the point of it was he turned 50. That's why he wore this, and I thought, oh, sweet mother of pearl, I had this kid in school. It's time, okay? When he said he turned 50, I thought, oh my gosh. And then we talk a little more. Well, okay, as long as we're in that family tree, Mike's brother-in-law, who we refer to as Spaceman, Jim, he's here somewhere, asked me to the prom when he was a senior. I thought, okay, it's definitely been too long. It has been way too long. So it has been 30 years. This is my 11th year in this program, and I can't express enough how much it's actually. If you attended Northwestern in the time that I've been working there, whether you had me for class or not, please stand up. You all are the reason I'm here, and thank you, because you're awesome, and you have made my career, and thank you. I appreciate all of you way more than you ever know. So obviously too many of you are standing as well, so once again, it's time to go. So thank you. It has. We've had some great adventures, and yes, I have a great co-pilot there that rides shotgun. The kids are scarred for life. I apologize to those of you that their children rode in our van. But you know what? It's been thousands of miles. It's been thousands of adventures. But in the end, there's even more great friends because of it. So thank you.